Hello everybody, this is Franklin and I'm the Bokeh artist. This is actually my third attempt at making this video. It's very hard to record when you basically have to share your room and you have family members coming into your room, and so please bear with me. But I have decided to do a change in my channel and not just focus only on art but just on everything that I like. So this channel can be both for entertainment and educational depending of what direction I take. But basically, I will do everything. It's gonna be a personal channel. It's gonna be like you can say like in Spanish we have the word varied, variado, meaning we do miscellaneous. Yeah, I do games, I do art, I do education, everything. With that being said, I really do enjoy playing Pokemon. I have all the games from Gen 1 through Gen 9 and some side series as well. And ever since Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out, I felt a very deep disconnect with those games, so I just dropped them. So I decided to go all the way back to the roots, Gen 1, and play to all the games. And because of that, I wanted to do my first series video based on how I feel about the Pokemon regions, the mainline ones. So this tier list will be based on how I feel at the moment, and I will obviously revisit these regions and this tier list once I play through the games. Also, as I play the games, I will do more region-specific tier lists. Like I don't want to give out ideas, but you can probably tell. Anyway, with that being said, let's begin with the all Pokemon mainline regions tier list based on how Franklin feels about them. Okay, so let's begin with where it all started, Canto. Canto. My first introduction to this game, to this region, was through Pokemon Soul Silver. I played through Johto first, and then I found out that as a post game you get to go to this new region that I never heard of before, that has its own cities, routes, and that shares the same Pokemon League. And I was very excited. I was like, oh my god, I actually get to explore. Like I was like 12 at the time, so I just thought that Canto was just like the eastern part of Johto that you just unlock. After you beat the champion. But no, I later found out, wait, Kanto is his own region. And at first, my opinion of it was very low. Like, if I would have done this tier list then, I would have put Kanto on straight up bad. Because obviously, I didn't play through it in its own game. I played through it as a post game. And obviously, there's no story. You could just do what you want. But later, as I learned the importance of it, and after playing through Pokemon Yellow and Blue and now Red, I not played through Red, I actually consider this region to be very fun. It's very fun to play through. Even back then, as Gen 1, I can tell how many people are Gen 1ers. The selection of Pokemon is pretty good. The routes, even though they're not very expansive, they're actually very fun to go through. Also, the cities, they're very fun to explore as well. I mean, it's the first Pokemon region. It's also the smallest Pokemon region. It has like the least amount of things on it. Obviously, the post game in Kanto is not really that good. But it's fine. This is back in the day where you gotta catch them all. Was a big thing. So the post game means you gotta catch them all. So I put Kanto in great fun. Like I actually enjoy playing to Kanto. The progression is a little bit like at first, like I don't really know what to do. Like wait, like why are you not letting me pass this gate just because you're thirsty? Like just get some water. Like isn't that cooler? Like, but later on I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever. So with that being said, let's go to Johto. Okay, so I was born in 1998. That's about the time where Red and Blue came out. So yeah, Pokemon has been around through all my life, and I never really got into playing Pokemon into the Gen 4 games, into the DS era. And my first Pokemon game ever was Pokemon Pearl. Then after Big Pearl, I got Soul Silver, and this is how I got into Johto. Johto I consider a very beautiful region aesthetically. Like you could tell it's very different from Kanto. Like it stands out from Kanto in that way. Kanto is very modern, and very yeah. It looks very similar to how our society looks now. Johto is more folkloric, if that's even a word. Despite that, I don't really enjoy Johto that much. I didn't really, I didn't really get this sense of adventure that I got from Sinnoh back in the day. I feel that the characters are not too memorable compared to Kanto. So at first, if I would have done this back then, I would put Johto in Great Farm, and I put Kanto where I'm going to put Johto, which is could do better. Like this region has a lot going for it. Like the legendaries are pretty good. Okay, something I haven't mentioned about Kanto is that Kanto is one of the few regions where I consistently like all three starters. Means that in each different playthrough of the Kanto games I do, I will be happy to have the starters in my team. I don't always do that. If I don't like a starter, I will just toss it. I will just give it away to a friend. And I just have a full team without starters. Johto, I like two of the starters. My first ever Johto starter was actually Chikorita, and I actually managed somehow to beat the champion and red with Chikorita. I don't know exactly how I did that. I don't think I could do that ever again. But I actually don't like Chikorita no more. The fire starter, I like him to a certain degree, but my favorite starter is Totodile of this region. That alligator Pokemon is the best. I love that starter. Water starters usually are pretty solid. So, but I'm going to put Johto on. Could do better. They need to do more in this figure so it could stand out on its own and not just be relying on Kanto. Like, if they could do a remake where, oh hey, Johto actually has his own league now. He doesn't really rely on Kanto no more. Like, okay, well, let's see how that works. And make the characters more memorable too. So, let's move on to Horn region. My first ever experience with Horn, meaning the first time I ever played it, was actually through Omega Ruby, to Gen 6. It is only up to recently that I actually got my hands on the Gen 3 versions, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I have them, and I haven't really played them yet. I will take the time to play them and record it on my YouTube channel into that. But Omega Ruby, one of my top favorite games. A lot of people that actually play Gen 3, specifically Emerald, had a lot of complaints on this game because it didn't include the Battle Frontier, which is a shame. I would love it if it had it. But, I mean, it is fine. It is fine. I guess they consider that they don't need it no more. You cannot really argue with Game Freak. But hey, Game Freak, the Battle Frontier, from what I think, it's actually really fun. It provides a lot of post-game material. I guess they expect you to have more friends now. I mean, listen, not everybody has friends. You can still include the Battle Frontier. They say, oh no, kids don't like difficult games. Like, I can see why they say that, but as a kid, I enjoy my challenge. I guess different generations have different point of view. Despite taking place on an island, very expansive. The selection of Pokemon, amazing. Characters are very memorable. Steven, whenever you hear Horn, you hear Steven, you hear May. You hear Wally. Even the professor is memorable here. Even not as memorable, but a little bit. Like I just feel that the vibe that this figure has and the legendaries is top. It's top tier. The Horn is genuinely a top tier region. Like, I don't think nobody's ever gonna argue with that. People consistently like the Horn region. Okay, so let's go to my first ever region, the Sinnoh region. So, Sinnoh region, I love this region so much. It's my first region. It's such an expansive region. I had a blast playing to this region. But oh, sorry. Uh, Horn region is also one of those few regions where I consistently like all three starters. Like I could do a playthrough of, you know what? Now that I think about it, the grass starter Trico, I don't like it no that much. Guys, I am not a hater on grass types. Trust me, I love grass types. But compared to the fire type and the water type, which I like Swampert, I think. Uh, I like, but despite that, I will still play again with the grass starter. Like I think people like it because of its design, but it's just a little harder to play to the games with that starter. Despite that, I think the starters are very solid in this region as well. Like I could do a playthrough with each of them. Trico will have to figure out how we build a team around him, but I think it's possible. Despite that, yeah, Horn is top tier. The only complaint about Horn that I have, now that I think about it, is the teams. The evil teams. I don't like them very much. Despite that, yeah, top tier region. Okay, back to Sinnoh. Sinnoh, yeah, it's a top tier region for me. Especially, I played the Pro version first, and then I actually got Diamond, but I never really bothered to play it, because back then I didn't know that Pokemon games, the versions are actually the same exact game, except that the Pokemon selection is different. I was very disappointed at that, but I actually got Platinum and I beat it. But and I also yeah, I had a very interesting experience with this region. It was the first region. Despite that, I really like it. I like the characters, especially the rival. I like Dawn. Whenever I think of Cena, I think of them. I think of the champion Cynthia. Well, it's not a top champion of the Pokemon franchise. Like everybody loves Cynthia, and you always see her pop up in every Pokemon game. The Elite Four was pretty fun. The starters, I'm very mixed about the starters. Like, I actually like. Oh my god, I can see a pattern here. Okay, my first starter ever was Chimchar. Like I went with Chimchar, and I actually really like the I like the evolution. Piplup never really beaten a game with that Pokemon, but I feel like I could pick him. It's just he doesn't really stand out to me that much. And the turtle one, I don't like the turtle. I don't like the turtle Pokemon that much. I wish I found a turtle Pokemon. It's just I don't like the Terra. So no, I don't like all the styles from Sinnoh. If anything, Chinchar is like the best starter there. But despite that, because the region is so expansive, and I really have a lot of fun in this region, I gotta put it in top favorite. It's my top favorite. It's one of my top favorite regions. And the legendaries is so fun to hunt them down and catch them. Except the ones that like to roam around. Nobody likes those. Okay, let's go to Unova region. When the Gen 5 games were announced, I was 7th to 8th grade. I was still in 7th grade. I was 12 years old. And when I saw those games being announced, sorry, allergies, I always have allergies. I was very excited. I was like super hyped as a kid, you know. Like there were new Pokemon games, a whole new region, whole new selection of Pokemon. The region design caught my attention a lot because it looked very different from everything I've seen up to that point. And it was a region based in New York. And guess what? I live in New York. I'm like, oh, so I guess I'm going to be familiar with that region. Not really. But hey, you know, I was very excited like that. And now she played Pokemon Black and Pokemon Black 2, and I was not disappointed. The Unova region is one of those few regions, such as Canto, where I actually like all the starters. I could do a playthrough with each of the starters and be very happy. This region also is one of the most expansive ones. It's one of the most the way Game Freak handled this region, you could tell they put a lot of love into this region. Like it was very controversial back then, but now everybody consistently likes Gen 5. Maybe there's a few people that don't like it, but Yeah, Unova was peak Pokemon for me. After that, it just went downhill. Like, but not it doesn't it wasn't as dramatic as I made it sound. But okay, moving on. Kalos region. So when the Pokemon X and Y was announced, and I saw that this was actually gonna be the first mainline Pokemon game in 3D, I was genuinely excited. At this point, I was 13 or 14. You know, I was still a kid. I still like Pokemon, but I was a little bit mature, more mature than when I was when. So you know, I was like, yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I like the fact that the games are gonna be in 3D. Now I'm going to see Pokemon in 3D. I like the graphics. I was very excited to explore new regions. And when I actually saw the design of Kalos, I was like, oh my god, this region looks so beautiful. I will say this: I think Kalos is the most visually appealing region. As in, when you look at the map of it, just hey, this is actually a pretty good looking region. But the region is not really that expensive. Like, I was very disappointed when I played this game because there's not really a post game compared to what Pokemon Black and White 2 did. The post game in this region was kind of lacking, and I was like, oh wait, there's not really much to do after you beat the game. Also, my big complaint with this region is that back then you could actually get a free I forgot the name of that Pokemon, but you get a fire starter from Horn for free and with the ability to Mega Evolve. I was like, okay, great. You get a Lucario too, I think. You get very powerful Pokemon, but the fights are very easy. Like, you swim through the whole game. Like, you could actually have a party of maybe 2 Pokemon and 1 HM slave, and you can stomp through the game. Like, maybe I'm underestimating it, but I just don't really like the game being so easy to beat. So, yeah, Game Freak could have taken more risk with this, but they didn't. I mean, yeah, they're trying to make money in the end of the game, and the main artist is kids, so they want to make it easy for them. So, Carlos has a lot of potential, but I'm going to put him could do better. It's a region that introduced a concept. It's a region that this generation permanently changed the franchise. You know, it's from there on, games will be in 3D, and also it'll be a lot easier. Like, maybe not so easy, but a lot easier than they were back in the day. Okay, Alola. So after I played Pokemon Y, I dropped Pokemon, and I spent a few years without playing them. Like, you know, and so I was like, let's say 15. Yeah, I was 15. I had a crush at the time, so and she really liked Pokemon. So hey, I was like, hey, you want my game? Here, you can have it. She took it. Never saw it again. A few years passed. I was like 15 at the time, but now I was 22. And you know, despite me not playing the games, I would still follow up whenever a new Pokemon game was announced. I would look at it, say, oh, there's a new Pokemon game, okay. Like, I would look at some videos, I would listen to the soundtrack because I love the soundtracks. The anime, I wouldn't really watch it. I was never really a big fan of the anime, so when Ash left, I wasn't really affected. And I saw that Alola came out. I was actually a little excited, you know, because I was like, hey, this a region being based on Hawaii. I mean, you could do a lot with that. And the regions did not disappoint me. Sorry, before I forget. Kalos region, I don't like the starters much. Like, the fire starter has a lot of potential, but the way they took it, I mean, they had to introduce a new, they introduced a new type here, and they made the fire type Pokemon Fire and Fairy. I just don't like the design. Like, I actually like the middle stage more than the third stage. But that's the point. I only like the frog. The frog starter is the best one. Besides that, the two of them, I don't like them that much. Alola though, is one of the few regions where I actually like all starters. I actually got my hands on all 4 games. I actually got my hands on all 4 games, and I beat them 3 of them, and I use different starters on each. So, yeah, Alola is very memorable. It was, if you play the Ultra versions, it was a little harder, so I appreciate that. The character, I think I already mentioned the characters are memorable. Yeah, I think of whenever I hear Alola, I think of Professor Kukui. I think of all the trial captains. I don't remember their names consistently, but they were very fun characters to interact with. The region is very colorful, but sorry, colorful. My Spanish accent is coming out here. Very colorful. The routes, even though they are straight line, they feel expansive. I actually enjoyed exploring. It's the last region where you can genuinely get lost, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. Like get lost, I said you can actually explore and find things like not many things. Also, the Pokemon selection here was pretty good. You could build very good parties, and Gen 7 was solid overall. The trainer battles, yeah, they were good, especially in Ultra Sun. Yeah, so I had great fun in Alola, but it's not top favorite. Not top favorite just yet. The legendaries, especially if you play the Ultra versions, were very fun to catch. The post games, I don't really like post games where they basically introduce a new storyline, because once you beat the storyline, there's pretty much nothing much to do. I like Black 2 and White 2 style, where you have all these different activities to do, and yeah. But besides that, yeah, I had a lot of fun in Alola. Galar. The Galar region, I was very mixed about it at first. When I saw the design of the region, I thought it was based on Great Britain, and I thought it was very linear. That didn't really bother me. I actually really like the aesthetic of this region. My problem with this region is that this region is kind of empty, and the routes are super linear. You know, they really wanted to emphasize. They really wanted you, whenever you hear the name Galar, they really wanted you to think of the wild area. So they really didn't really emphasize the routes that much. Like there's some highlights in there, but this region is really the most linear region in Pokemon. Like they really went with that. Like the characters are memorable. I actually enjoy playing the story. But the map as on itself, yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Despite that, the Pokemon selection is pretty good. The games are super fun to play. So I actually gonna put Galar on Great Fun. I'm gonna put it on Great Fun, yeah, because I actually have fun playing the game. My biggest disappointment with this region, like, I would actually put it on top favorites, but at first the post game was not pretty good. But then you have to pay for 2 expansion packs to get 2 new areas, which is okay. No Elite 4. When you get to the Pokemon League, you basically rematch all the characters, all the strong characters that you battle against throughout the game. And the champion is not really a highlight to me. I didn't really like the champion here. It just was whatever. So, but I put in Great Fun because I still had a lot of fun. Finally, Paldea, and this will be controversial. The controversial part. First of all, I got Pokemon Scarlet as soon as the games came out. I went out to play the game for like an hour or two, and I was just bored. First time ever that I was actually bored while playing a Pokemon game. I could not believe what happened. Despite that, I don't think they're bad games. I just feel that I need to relive the passion again that I once had for the series in order to play to them. And it usually always say that with me. Like, I recently got Tears of the Kingdom, and I haven't really touched it. Like, I played it for like an hour or two. Usually when I get a new game, I play it for like an hour or two, then I drop them. And then, like, after like a month or two goes by, I'm like, okay, I want to play the game now. And then I just play the game and beat it. That's how it worked with me. The thing with Paldea is that I don't really know much about it, but what I do know about it, I am not really a big fan. Basically, they wanted to put a Breath for the Wild here. Like, I don't blame them. Breath for the Wild was amazing. Um, you could go and fight any gym leader in any order, or you could do any storyline in any order you want. But I'm focusing here on the trainers. The gym leaders are not really that strong from what I've seen. They're not really that strong, and the Elite Four very disappointing. Like, yeah, they do stand out. They are Elite Four. Like, at least we have Elite Four, so I give them that. And the champion, the top champion, very disappointing. I mean, you still have your rival, so I guess you still got that. But this region just hasn't really left that big of an impression to me. But I will say this: it's probably the most expensive region because it's an open-ended region. You can do whatever you want. So, but for now, I'm gonna put in could do better, because I guess I could do better right now. Not that Game Freak had to do anything better. Maybe they do, I don't know. But I could do better because I just still haven't really experienced this region in order for me to say anything. So, this is my rating. As you can see, there's no bad Pokemon region because all of them are good. All of them are consistently good. It's just that some are better than others. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I probably got 20 minutes up to this point. I'm sorry for being so lengthy. You have a good day. You will see me very soon on YouTube, of course. So I'll see you. Take care.